I am Professor Dr. Arul Raj, currently the National President of Association of Physicians of India. Formerly, I was the National President of Indian Medical Association and Commonwealth Medical Association also. Now, I am just reaching to our Indian nationals to discuss about a very important agenda on Corona. All of us know, and there are a lot of discussions going on, whether the immunity of Indians resists or counters Corona. I happen to go through a lot of documents and the outcomes I am sharing with you all. All of us know Corona is an imported disease, not an Indian disease. It's originated in China due to somebody eating uncooked meat of a bat, and it has been transmitted throughout the world. And we Indians are known for frequent travels outside, and we always welcome the air travelers with an open arm, and that is why we have this disease. If you go through the data as on date, the world number is around 26 lakhs, and the number of deaths are around
1.8 lakhs.
But if you see the country-wise, the developed nations have large numbers. For example, United States of America has about 8.5 lakh of infected patients, and UK has about 1.3 lakh, Italy has 1.9 lakh, and Germany has 1.5 lakh, and Spain has 2 lakhs. And the death rate is also very high in them. But if you see in our own country, as far as today's morning data, it's around 21,000 only. The death rate is around 600 only. If you see the African countries, the incidence is around 20,000 only, and the death rate is little higher, around 1,020. If you see our neighbor country, Sri Lanka, the number is around 334, and the death rate is only 7. On going through these data, something came flashing in my mind. Are we dealing with a disease which is very much vibrant in developed and sophisticated nations, and it is less in a developing or underdeveloped country, and the death rates also low? And this is what made me to think further, and I made an analysis. In infection, we always consider three aspects. Number one, the infective agent. Here in Corona, the infective agent is COVID-19 or coronavirus. The China has said there are two types in that. One is a S type, another is an L type. S type is less virulent, whereas L type is highly virulent. Now this is only going and attacking the world population. Therefore, the virus or the causative agent is same throughout the world. Next factor is the host susceptibility, depends upon the immunity of the person. And immunity, as all of you know, has got two types of immunities. One is a innate immunity, another is an adaptive immunity. Adaptive immunity is a T and B lymphocyte immunity. These two types of immunities may decide the incidence as well as the death. The third important component is environment, in which environment this occurs. And it has been proved even in Chinese studies, when the temperature is low as 9 degrees centigrade, the incidence is too high. For every rise of 1 degree centigrade, the number of cases come down as well as the death rate. Now, colleagues, you will all understand and you will all agree with me that the difference lies in the second and third factors. Third fact, that is the host immunity and the environment. Now we are talking about a high immunity among Indians. Let us see how these Indians are developing an immunity. The Indian habits and cultures, I would like to just briefly talk to you all. It is a time-honored one. Number one is breastfeeding is very common in India. Every mother feeds her child not only with milk but also with immune system. The second one is a bad environment, and personal hygiene is always low. in most of the people, at least who are living in the slums, who are below the poverty line. That exposes us to lot of bacteria, cocci, and it leads to an immunity. The subclinical exposure of viral disease is very common in our country, like measles, mumps, influenza. That leads on to antibodies, and that may offer a protection. And we are all used to washing our hands before food and after food, not with paper but with water and soap. That may have an effect. And the next factor I would like to highlight is the adoption of vegetarianism. We are mostly in Indians, around 70 to 80% are vegetarians for religious reasons as well as for personal reasons, and we are adopting yoga in some form or other. It may not be exact pranayam that we are practicing. Some form of yoga is there that gives lot of mental peace and physical habit also. We are not in the habit of using paper, but we are using water. Our Indian food is very rich in chilies. Maybe whatever you may name it, right from ginger to pepper to onion, or due to garlic, or due to fenugreek, whatever you may call, it has got lot of chilies. They have lot of immune enhancing effects. And all of us agree that the climate in India is always hot, and it may be a disadvantageous factor for the virus. All of us are also aware that we don't shake hand. When you want to greet your guest, we don't shake hands. We have the habit of doing a namaste, which has become now worldwide after a visit of our Namaste Trump to India. And dirtiness is a part of Indian culture, because all our outdoor activities are not there in sterile environment, and they developed a herd immunity. You all know the Kumbh Mela has been lot of crowd is there, lot of infection is there, but nobody gets a disease. Probably it also gives some form of immunity. The sacred Ganges has lot of water, which has been studied by tropical schools, that it is full of viruses, full of bacteria. But everybody comes out well. Probably they all play a role here. And the Indians are very much fond of fermented foods. That is our culture. That probably may play a role. Now these diverse habits and cultures probably may contribute to the resistance which is being offered by the citizen to this COVID. And when we talk about legacy effect, or when you talk about an immunity, all of us know Indians, whichever part of the world they live, they are genetically prone or susceptible to develop more coronary artery disease than the innate population. That's a fact. And secondly, as we discussed, dirtiness is an Indian heritage, and we will have to, a dirty child may be an immune child, and a very clean child may not be very immune. We need to argue between Mr. Clean and Mr. Dirt, and probably researchers will take a con on that. All the religious places, whether it is churches, temples or mosques, are overcrowded, and probably some researcher may say dirt offers protection, and cleanliness makes susceptibility. And a compulsory vaccination, we are compelled to do a BCG vaccination. We are compelled to do a flu vaccination for diabetics. We do a measles vaccination. We do a smallpox vaccination. Whether it has a positive contributory effect, maybe. Now we have started testing BCG, whether it could offer an immunity. Now there are trials also whether oral polio vaccine can offer. Today I read a news whether oral polio vaccine can offer an immunity. Now studies are on. The positive aspects in the culture may be living in slum and gutters offers immunity to the virus. The negative may be increased pollution and a lot of gut infection, since we are not very clean. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Indian culture may be a blessings in disguise. Now you will agree that the host factors and environment are different between India and developed nations like Europe and USA. I have certain observational points. I mean, right from the climate, which is hot, I am just trying to compare between India as well as a developed nation, maybe UK or any one of the, Western countries or in USA. First thing is the climate. We are in a hot and humid climate, whereas the developed nations who have the highest number are in a cold climate. Secondly, vaccination. BCG and measles, smallpox is mandatory in our country, but not so in a developed nation. And the physical activities are much more. We have got a very much labor-oriented working. We are never sitting in an air-conditioned room and trying to do the job, whereas this is less in the developed world. And infection rate in India, though we are fighting against non-communicable diseases, still infections are living with us. We are fighting, whereas it is negligible in a developed nation. And washing and wiping, we use water, whereas developed nations use paper. Yoga and breathing exercises are very common in our nation, which has just started picking up in the developed nations. On greeting, as I told you, we never shake hands, we used to do a namaste. Whereas there the culture is to a handshake. Smoking and alcohol are less in our country, whereas it is much higher in the developed nation. As I said, in the diets, more hot, more chilies, whereas in the developed nation, it is cold with a lot of sauces. And we clean our table, chair and all places with a wet towel, whereas which is cleaned by a vacuum sterilizer in developed nations. And genetically, we may have an immunity. Probably the developed nation may have a susceptibility. And these are all the few observations which I could pass through, but which may not stand in a scientific argument. What does the science say? You will all ask, what does the science say? The science says Indians compared to other world population carry more NK cells which can terminate an infection at an early stage. And lot of debate is going on. In malaria endemic areas, the incidence is less and the death rate is also less. And BCG vaccination is offering an immunity. It is being debated. Now scientific activity is going on. And now we are all aware. Now BCG vaccine is undergoing trial, as I told you a little earlier. Even OPV, oral polio vaccine is also undergoing trial. Another important research from International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology in New Delhi has developed a unique microRNA named as MIR27B, which can resist the coronavirus and which has been very much documented in Indians. Then science also, ladies and gentlemen, favor a more of an immunity in Indians, basically due to our dietary habits, recurrent exposures to infections and vaccines against a virus. Now the conclusion will be Western culture favors corona-19 infection due to low host immunity and favorable environmental factors, whereas Indian culture resists corona due to high innate immunity and unfavorable environmental factors. Then the question comes, should we follow Western culture or Indian culture? Now our Indians are switching over to Western culture at this juncture. Probably now we are in a stage of telling to the globe that all Western people should change over to Indian culture. Probably it may come. It needs some more studies. Now you may ask me what with this inference, what could be the recommendations in a scientific debate? We need to go for recommendations, which may be acceptable or may not be acceptable. First thing will be to follow a vaccine schedule. whether you are a developed nation or underdeveloped nation. I mean, the antiviral vaccines like BCG, and then I mean our polio, and then smallpox, flu has to be. And adequate washing of the hand with water and soap. Must have an adequate physical exercises, labor oriented, and yoga or some form of a breathing exercise. You must add some spices in your diet. Very important ones are ginger, another is garlic, pepper, onion, etc. to the food. Even fenugreek can be added. Another recommendation will be definitely stop consuming alcohol and smoking. You must expose yourself to warm climate often. Probably the global warming may prove to be a blessing for this disease, but that doesn't mean we should recommend people to be dirty. You may say that dirtiness gives some resistance by recurrent bacterial infection, but we can never recommend to the world that they should become dirty or maintain. Cleanliness is health. There is no second word about it. But we must maintain a social distance and maintain a respiratory hygiene, wipe the door, this and that with a clean wet cloth. Let us be clean. It's Swachh Bharat. World citizens, my message will be, there is an immunity in Indians, and the developed nation can also develop that immunity by following certain dietary factors, by following certain infection immunization schedule, and some cleanliness. Future research, I am sure, will definitely come out with a favorable reply. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.